Hi friends, Pastor Cindy Garris here. Just wanted to reach out to you and share a couple of updates and some different things that are going on this week. First of all, a special thank you to many of you who have continued to support and let us know that this time is very difficult. I can't believe that it is the middle of June and that it's been so long since we have been in worship in person together. And I know that this time has been difficult for many. I also know that many of you have reached out and have been able to connect with one another in a variety of other ways, if not seeing each other weekly in worship. Speaking of which, a special thank you both for your continual contributions and support to the church. Your notes, your thoughts, your prayers have all been received and warmly appreciated. Additionally, many of you have responded to the call for the Nupanin family and responding to ways in which we can help. And one of the ways that we shared last Friday was to help assist in the purchase of a specialized wheelchair that is more all-terrain and allows for Jessica to go to many more places with her children and family. I'm happy to report that not only did we meet our goal of $4,000, but we exceeded it to the point of over $6,000 to this point. So you all are amazing, and we are not stopping receiving the contributions that you give. It will go towards other needs that the family has. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you for being the generous community that I know that you are. Couple of updates. The council met on Monday night, and it was decided at that time that for the safety of our community and for continuing to be able to reach as many in our community as possible, including the most vulnerable, we will continue to have our worship services online. And in a recorded fashion, as well as our meetings and other gatherings via Zoom for the summer. We are looking at and anticipating, council approved, having an outdoor service, actually two, the weekend of July 18 and 19. On July 18 will be the memorial service outside at our memorial garden for Arlene Ramby. And that's at 10 a.m. On July 19, that Sunday at 4 p.m., we will be having an outdoor worship service here at the church. It may not be and will not be quite a full-blown worship service as perhaps you're used to seeing, and especially through as we've been sharing with the recordings. And that's one of the reasons we want to continue to offer those recordings to you. But it will be a time for you to come out, see and be with one another, and hold sacred space together in music and in prayer and in a short meditation and reflection. But primarily be able to see one another. We're still working out the details on what that looks like, so please let me know your thoughts and opinions on how that could be shaped and what would be most beneficial to you. I also wanted to share with you that council has approved putting together a task force for this time to help with our reopening. That task force is headed by Liz August. It will include Liz, myself, Pastor Scott, Kathy Neely, Larry Porter, and Rhonda Harris. If you are interested in being a part of that task force or have other questions, please contact Liz August. This is a group that will be able to help us walk through the things that we need to do in our reopening process and in the ways we can have the building and individuals in it be the most safe that they can be. So we'll continue to have the church doors locked primarily, and invite that if you need to come by the church to wear a mask, to sign in, so that we know who has been here and in what ways you have been, what areas of the church you've been in. small gatherings, say like me meeting with a family for a memorial service, or small groups, committees and teams that need to meet in person, are allowed with social distancing being practiced. And again, so that we know to set up a time with the church office so that we know what rooms then need some disinfecting that they've been used and after you've been here. Council will review and the recommendations of the task force, and we'll also review how the outdoor service went in July. On July 20th, they will be meeting once again by Zoom on Monday, July 20th. They don't typically have a council meeting, but are going to meet and be together specifically around these issues of reopening, outdoor service, and ways in which we can practice that better. Also wanted to let you know that the council also has made the decision to cancel this year's Devonshire Fair. We know that it is well loved. We also know that so many of our volunteers are not comfortable with coming out and helping with fair setup and cleanup and going through all the items with the fair. We also know that it is next to impossible for us to facilitate and practice social distancing and safe practices with hundreds of people in our hallways for those couple of days. So at this time, we are taking a break from the fair. Council continues to receive your feedback on that and welcomes any ideas that you have as we move into the future together. Also, just taking a look at this weekend, I wanted to highlight a couple of things. First of all, happy Father's Day to all of our fathers who are with us, those who are father figures in the lives of many, those who wish they were fathers, those who experience sorrow around fathers. I just want to honor and recognize you and thank you for being strong men of faith and being people we can look up to. There's some pretty amazing men in our congregation and who will be hearing this. So thank you very much for sharing your gifts with the world. Also, note that this weekend on Friday, June 19th, marks the 135th anniversary of Juneteenth. It was not necessarily a tradition that I was familiar with, a holiday, if you will, but I think it is one that it is important for all of us to be aware of and to hold as part of our history. Juneteenth, June 19th, otherwise known as Emancipation Day or Freedom Day, marks the day in 1865 when Major General Gordon Granger, along with 20,000 Union troops, rode into Galveston Bay, Texas, and told the enslaved black people that they were free. Even though the enslaved people were freed by the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863, and the Civil War officially ended on April 9th, 1865, 250,000 black people were still kept in bondage in Texas until June 19th, 1865. So 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was finally the end of slavery in the States. And so I want to just highlight Juneteenth, especially at this time where we recognize Black Lives Matter, that we recognize people of all different colors matter because we are people. And I simply wanted to highlight that this is part of my history, our history too. It is not something that is solely for Black people. For if I can't recognize the ache of when a young Black person is killed or is innocently convicted, recognizing that that might be my child, then I won't have compassion on a people. It will be easier for me to dismiss them. Speaking of ways in which we might dismiss people, also this weekend on Saturday, June 20th, at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., also virtually, there is a Poor People's Campaign digital gathering. It is the Poor People's Campaign recognizes poverty in the states and the rights of all people in our country. And you are invited to join in that practice. So I invite you to take a look at the Poor People's Campaign. Join them at either 10 a.m. or 6 p.m. for digital gatherings on Saturday, June 20th. You can learn more at june2020.org. Finally, one last announcement I have is a note that our association gathering for the spring was postponed, hoping that we could be able to be together as the Harrisburg Association. It has now been scheduled for June 27th, so not this weekend, but the next, at 10 a.m. via Zoom. If you are interested in participating in our Harrisburg Association Assembly meeting, please contact the office, contact me, and let us know, and we can forward the information to you that has been shared with us. So lots of things going on. Again, whether we are gathered or scattered, we are better together. So may we continue to do better together as followers of Christ, as people of the way, as children of the light, as brothers and sisters, the body of Christ. I miss you. I hope that you are well. Please continue to be in touch and let us know how we can continue to help support you and meet needs in our community. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.